Hi, Vandana. This is Emily Russ with Community Promise, and I am bringing you on today to ask you a couple of questions about what your role is like at Collins Aerospace and what it means to be an avionics data analytics manager. So I probably totally butchered your title there, but can you give us a little bit of background history about yourself and what led to an interest in this field?
Sure. Thank you for having me here, Emily. I definitely really enjoy my job, and talking about it comes very naturally to me. So I'm really excited to share more information. My current title is Data Analytics Manager at Collins Aerospace. My job, the way I got here was I have a master's degree in information systems. So I learned a lot about data and tools and softwares to process data and convert it into information. So people can use that information to make business related decisions. So that degree led me to the jobs I did from there, and one job led to the other. And I'm in my current role where majority of my role is about measuring metrics. Anything in the business that we do, it has to be measured to decide if we are successful or if we need more work to be done in that direction. And my work goes towards that direction where we measure metrics and then we try to figure out what can be done in the business to improve that certain metric.
Sure. Walk us through a typical day, if there is a typical day.
There, to be honest, is never a typical day. Things are always different. So if there's somebody who really enjoys things being new and exciting and changing all the time, this is a great role. So I would say about half of it, there's not really a typical day. And then the other half is, like I mentioned, we measure metrics and then we come up with plans on how to improve those metrics. The metrics are decided upon in the beginning of the year or a 5-year business plan. So the measurement of those metrics, collecting data from various sites, um, coming up with new plans to make those metrics better, that's sort of a repeating process that we do sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly, depending on the metric. So that piece is repeated, but otherwise, the plans that we come up with to improve our business, it changes all the time based on where we are in the business and what the business goals are. So there's a lot of change, and it's very exciting because I get to work with um, a lot of different people all across the United States. Sometimes I'll get to work with people in Europe and India as well. So it is very interesting from a personal growth point of view as well.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. What would you say is the defining experience or factor that really led you to pursue something in the STEM field?
When I was a young kid, I really enjoyed math and science. For me, anything that's logical made a lot of sense, but anything that I had to memorize and remember for a long time, that was not my strongest skill. So I always went towards subjects or activities that I could learn the rules of and then apply them the way I would want to. So that is something that really led me to take go get an engineering degree and then a master's in information systems. That's where I could start envisioning what I can do with my career. So I would say if you really enjoy just applying logic, and if you really enjoy not running by the rules, then go for it. It's a lot of fun. You get to question a lot of things and then build things from scratch, which is also a lot of fun.
Yeah, very cool. What would you tell yourself if you were to go back? What would you tell yourself as a middle schooler or high school student?
I think one thing that we tend to overlook, but comes in extremely handy regardless of what career options anybody chooses to go, be it STEM or non-STEM, is focusing on the communication skills as well as networking skills. These are really big words that can feel like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's basically when you have friends in school, try to make them meaningful friendships. That's networking. Communication skills is nothing but if there's something in your mind, discuss it, talk about it. Feel free to ask people open-ended questions and assimilate all that information. That is communication skills. So focus on your communication skills, verbal as well as written, and your networking skills, and it'll take you places for the rest of your life.
That's such a great way to apply a tangible idea to something that oftentimes feels very generic. You know, as a
Thank you.
middle school student, how do I network? What does that mean? So I really like how you related that back. Tell us a little bit about why you love this profession and why you love your job.
There are a few things that are important to me personally, and this job gives me those things. So, for example, like I said, I really like to apply logic to certain things and then bring out information from there. This job allows me to do that. I gather data from a lot of different systems, sites, and then I convert that into information which can be used to make real life decisions. That really excites me. If you look at an Excel sheet full of a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
numbers, it means nothing. But when you convert it into a graph, or you look at a trend of a certain aspect, then it makes so much sense. It's exciting how an
Mm-hmm.
Excel sheet full of numbers can actually tell you something of what's going on and give you indications of what can you do to improve or reduce anything in the business or even in your personal life. If you're looking at if you're excited about finance, then start looking at all your expenses throughout the month, put
Mm-hmm.
them in an Excel
Yeah.
sheet, and then categorize them and see where is majority of your expense going. Are you eating a lot of junk food? Are you spending a lot of money buying hobby related items? That Excel sheet full of expenses is going to show you where really all your money is going. That's exciting. So if you like finance, data or metrics is still something that you can really enjoy.
I understand what you're saying about exciting, but maybe not necessarily when it reveals that you are visiting the convenience store too often or whatever it might be. But it definitely,
Absolutely.
numbers, numbers don't lie. So I think that's interesting and very neat to hear you correlate that to why it's exciting.
Absolutely.
Um,
There's another example actually I would like to share
yeah.
is I know high schoolers or middle schoolers these days are extremely health conscious. They want to look at how they're eating. So if there are apps out there
Mm-hmm.
that people use to input what they're eating on a regular basis, and then those apps help you convert to look at a bigger picture of how your food or drinks consumption is like. It'll tell you how many carbs you're eating, if you're getting enough protein or not, are you eating enough produce, fruits and vegetables. So that's another exciting example of data analytics
Mm-hmm.
where all you're doing is just inputting, I ate a banana for breakfast. And then the app is going to convert and tell you, oh, great, you got 200 grams, I'm making up a number here, 200 grams of potassium, which is awesome. So if you're into health related
Mm-hmm.
topics that excite you, or if you're finance related, or if you
Yeah.
really enjoy uh, building things and converting waste into meaningful products, all of these areas need data analytics skills. So
Yeah.
in your high school, if you have access to any of those courses, pick them up. You can apply them at so many different areas of life.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm glad that you were able to really drill down and explain, how different ways that numbers can be used and what they can reveal. That's really neat. How do you stay excited and up to date on different trends or different technology platforms that may enable you to do your job more efficiently?
um, so this is an interesting thing I'm going to share, which is going to be different from the what mainstream media tells you. There are definitely uh, multiple tools and softwares that are released every single day that help you with data analysis.
Mm-hmm.
But to work for a company that has been around for a really long time and has processes that have made the company successful,
Mm-hmm.
I would say there are some teams who on a continued basis experiment and play with all the new technologies. But then there are also some teams that make use of um, technologies that have proven itself successful and helpful over the years. So say, for example, I used the example of Excel in one of my previous examples. Excel has been around for decades, and companies still continue using Excel to convert that data into information. And it's been pretty successful. So we haven't felt the need to go find something that replaces Excel. So I I personally don't always constantly get exposed to brand new technologies. There are teams who do that, but for my role, I've been using tools that have been successful over decades, and it works great for our situation right now.
Sure. Excel can do so many things as well. So
Absolutely.
you're saying you're an expert with Excel?
I could teach you some tricks.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, we need to talk after this. I want to keep this short, Vandana, but what else, as we are signing off, what else would you share with students?
I would definitely encourage all students to enjoy their school life. Everybody's always in a rush to grow up. Everybody's always in a rush to learn this or that, and then always think about what I'm going to do in the next 5 years, 10 years. That is super important, but it is also important to really enjoy your current present. School time is never going to come back again, no matter how much you want it to. So the friendships that you're developing, the relationships you're building, not only with your friends, but your teachers and your mentors, hold on to them and put in your best, because you will be amazed how these same people are going to come back and work with you, be your support system in the future, and you will be their support system.
Yeah, absolutely. What great words. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to learning more about your role.
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
You too.